Hey guys, so today we will be talking about the beginning process of some free work. I have this 3-year-old off the track thoroughbred mare. This is her second time saddled and third time with some of the free work. So you're gonna see her from a pretty raw place. So after securely fastening my halter and saddle, I'm gonna send her out on the rail. What I'm looking for in this free work from her is how does she handle the pressure of the saddle? How does she handle the pressure of me moving her through transitions, changes of direction? Does she get stiff? Does she get rigid? Is she nervous moving forward? Or is she nervous about changing eye and seeing me on both sides? Or is she accepting? And I think you can tell a lot about a horse through the free work. And not only are you in a safe environment that gives you a lot of distance if the horse needs to have a very typical horse moment, especially for the young ones, but it also really gives you a perspective to look at the entire picture. Really look at how the horse is moving, what their thought process looks like, how they really handle something without the influence of us on the end of a lead rope, because we can't help but add pressure even if we don't always mean to. So that's really what I'm trying to focus on with her today. So you'll notice through my transitions that I try to add the flag gradually. I don't need to cause fear and send her faster with more intensity. I'm gonna release my flag as she steps up into trot from walk. And when she feels that relief and breaks back into walk, I'm just gonna gradually ask her to step back into that next transition. I don't need her to start making rigid transitions up and down. So you'll notice me as well, I'll step in front of the shoulder to block that forward motion. This mare is a little tight moving faster, so I'm gonna keep bringing her back to that comfortable pace. However, she still has to keep stepping back through these paces till she has relaxed at all three: walk, trot, and canter. When you're working with some free work, you have to remember that every direction is different, better, worse. It's important to take note of that with each horse. She faces me on the left eye, but is hesitant for me to move in front to the right eye. She turns away and flees instead. She's gonna be a little more eager to put me on one side or the other, as once we've kind of broken the ice there, she's gonna feel a little threatened. But we'll work on it as I move her through this session and try to get her a little more tolerant about me moving from side to side. One thing you might notice about this mare when she's cantering, she almost goes blank. She starts cantering and she even gets herself out of balance, starts counter cantering, but she continues to go. She doesn't quite understand how to slow her feet on her own, and she gets in flight mode. A lot of horses will do this. It's a complete natural response. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to draw her at the canter first. However, more than likely, I'm gonna step in and have to break her canter path and send her the other direction. When she does turn, I'm not gonna shoo her off right away, but she needs to keep her feet moving. She'll learn to stand in peace once she can move forward in peace. I know that sounds like a complete opposite train of thought, But the fact that she's having a hard time coping with that means if I just go ahead and shut it down, I'm not rewarding for a positive thing. I'm actually rewarding for something negative. I usually use my hands just as if I had a rope attached to the horse. So you notice I have a leading hand and I have my driving hand that has the flag in it. Not everybody does it this way. It's comfortable for me. So if that's something that works for you as far as being able to send your horse directions, that's something that just works for me. You may notice that when I'm sending this mare back up into canter, I'm gonna let her stay on the cusp of breaking into canter for a little while. I'm not looking to hurry her back through that transition, especially where I see that she's really trying to think about what the next step is for her. Her ears are moving, her eyes are blinking. She's very aware that I'm adding pressure to get her to go forward. So I'm just gonna hold out for her. If she picks up the incorrect lead, I'm gonna try to get her backed off into that slower pace, because really when they're sending forward into those transitions, I don't want her moving forward out of balance. That's just gonna cause her more anxiety and end up doing worse damage, I feel like, than better. You can see she really gives me a good draw off the rail. She doesn't come right in and invade my space. However, she really softens her body and steps in to face me. I'm not in a hurry to greet her, where she did come off of that really strong transition and kind of came down quick. She's focused, she's content standing there. So I'm gonna try to draw her forward by walking side to side, not to her. I'm not gonna invade her bubble either. I'm just gonna walk around her front, kind of keep drawing her left to right and see if she'll step into me. If she's not fully ready to, I'm gonna send her back out and do a little bit of work trying to get her to come back to me. So when I do send her out, I get a little bit too ahead of her at one point to block the shoulder as she was starting to come in towards the center a little bit. I block a little bit too much, she leaves to the other direction. I want to draw her from that right side, so I'm gonna work till I get a good face up, and when she gives me that side, I'm going to really make it feel good. So we're gonna just kind of work through this and see, can I get back to that right side and get a good draw. So after I get that draw off the right side, I'm really gonna watch her body language as she's standing there. Sometimes if you go too direct or too fast, you can cause that horse to leave again. This mare is very sweet, very level-headed. So I'm not too nervous about going pretty direct to her, but every horse handles pressure differently. If they're a little head shy or a little touchy, have a little bit more of that switching eye problem and really get tight when you come in their bubble, you might want to try to draw them to you first before just going up and approaching them really, really quickly. But in this case, I'm going to go right in. I'm going to scratch her on the head. I'm going to rub her on the neck and make her feel really good. I don't really like to give a big hard pat. I just want to make them feel just as soft and happy as if someone was patting me on the back.